Whew. Good morning, good morning, good morning, people. I know it's bright and early wherever you are. It's about 7:31 where I am in Arizona. If you're on the East Coast, it's 9. If you're in California, it's 6. But good morning, good morning. My name is Dion. I am your 49er reporter. Welcome back to the channel. First things first, if you like, hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. Give you all the 49er content, keep you up to date on any and everything 49ers. Now I'm going to give it to you straight with no chasing. With that being said, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so we're at the midway point. This is halfway through the season, and we are currently 8-0, baby. Sitting atop the NFL as the NFL's only undefeated team. There is no one better. We are the 49ers, and we are winners. Now, our mantra in the locker room is, 8-0 only means you can go 8-8. You can come out bomb these last 8 games. Do I think we're going to? Hell no. You crazy? We ain't gonna bomb these last 8 games. It's not possible. Are we gonna have some stiff competition? Yes. I think that the Saints will be a little competition. I think that the Packers will be some competition, and I think that the Ravens will be some competition as well. It was a nice little game that we had against the Cardinals. They gave us a little bit of a run, but at the end of the day, we pulled that win off, baby, and that's what matters. At the end of the day, as long as there's a W in the column, that's all we care about as Niner fans, and that's all they care about as a franchise. Because the main focus is to get to the playoffs. How you get there don't matter. I mean, hell, years and years ago, Sam Bradford and the Rams got into the playoffs with a 7-9 record. That's a losing record. So how you get there don't matter. What you do in the playoffs is what matters. I think when Eli won both of his Super Bowls, he was 9-7. It's not a fantastic record, but hey, he got into the playoffs, took to the Super Bowl, beat Brady twice. So that's it. It is what it is. So let's get into some of the obvious stuff. This is the midway point. So basically, this is going to be a mid-season recap of who we are and how we're contributing. I'm gonna go with the offense. Then I'm going to give y'all another video on the defense. I'll give y'all another video of us as a whole. Then I'm going to hit y'all with a video for the Seattle Seahawks versus us in our house, which we will win that game. But that's another time for another video. So first things first, let's go ahead and talk offense. So our offense has been rolling. You know, we have one of the best rushing attacks in the league. Our passing attack could be better, but we're a run first, pass second team, unlike most of the teams who are pass happy then run second. We have such a strong running game. We have such a strong O-line that can block for our running game, that zone stretch scheme that Kyle Shanahan likes to run. That's the reason why our passing isn't as great as as a bunch of the other teams in the league. As you leave it to everyone else, Jimmy G ain't this, Jimmy G ain't that, he can't throw the ball. They're running because they're worried about what he's going to do. Actually, that's completely not true. So total offense in the league, we are number 7, period. So that's rushing and passing combined. We are number 7 in the league. We got 390 yards per game. We have 49% on third down. So that means almost half the time third down we convert, which is definitely a great percentage to have. We are 4 out of 5 on fourth down. Now that only gives us 80%, but at the same time, 4 out of 5 on fourth down, I mean, I'll take those numbers any day. And we would have been 5 out of 5 had we converted that, running touchdown that we were trying to get Jeff Wilson, where they stopped us, the Cardinals that is, and then Cliff Kingsbury, like a dumbass, went ahead and called the timeout and allowed us to be able to get another TD to Emmanuel Sanders on offense, that is. So we've lost 8 fumbles throughout 8 games, so that's about a fumble a game. We have 8 fumbles through 8 games, and we lost only 5 of those, so that's not too bad. We got a +4 turnover ratio. We're number 2 in the league in rushing, 29.4 points per game. We have a team average of 4.7 yards per carry. That's amazing. That's actually a beautiful thing. 171 yards per game rushing the ball. 13 TDs as a collective. 5 of those TDs belong to touchdown TC, as I affectionately call him. You know what I'm saying? We got 68 first downs. We have 8 runs of 20-plus yards. We have 3 runs of 40-plus. And we have, I think, 2 runs of at least 60-plus. And maybe even 1. I think it's only 1 because that was that Matt Breida touchdown where he had that 83-yard run. And then Breida basically is the fastest man in the league. 22.3 miles an hour. Nobody's touched him. I think somebody came close, but nobody's touched him. Nobody's actually gotten there. Passing offense, we're number 22 in the league, as I stated earlier. Most passing offenses, you want your passing and your running offense to balance each other out, but we're more run heavy, pass, and not as pass happy as most teams. But we do have something to rest on. Jimmy G is 70.9% completion rate. That's actually fantastic. You know what I mean? When you have a completion rating of 70%, that means most of the time you throw the ball, you're good. And to be honest with you, the reason that he's 70% and probably not a little bit higher is because there have been some drops. Receivers been dropping balls. And I'm going to get into that because that's just not good. That's the reason why we had to go get Emmanuel Sanders, because we had certain receivers that just weren't living up to the hype. Plus, we lost Trent Taylor to injury. Plus, we lost Jalen Hurd to injury. You know what I mean? So there are certain things that have been happening, and that's the reason why his percentage isn't a little bit higher. But 70.9, I'll still take that. So we have about 219 yards passing per game, 27 plays of 20-plus yards, 2 plays of 40-plus yards. We've only allowed 12 sacks. That's about a sack and a half a game, which is actually not too bad. I'll take that because that means that Jimmy G isn't on his back very often. Once again, fastest ball carrier, Matt Breida, 22.3 miles an hour. Jimmy G has 1,806 yards, 13 TDs, and 7 interceptions. Now, the beauty of this is that, as a collective, our rushing attack is pretty strong. And everybody will say, oh, man, well, you guys don't have a 1,000-yard rusher. Well, we may or we may not, but we have too many guys that have too many yards. Yeah, think about this. Matt Breida, 524 yards, averaging 5.3 yards a carry. Tevin Coleman, 355 yards, averaging 4.3 yards a carry. Raheem Mostert, who barely gets on the field as far as running is concerned, has 307 yards, 5.6 yards per carry. Deebo Samuel has 5 rushes for 37 yards, just averaging 7.4 yards per carry, and he has a rushing touchdown. So Matt Breida has 1 touchdown, Tevin Coleman has 5, Raheem Mostert has 1, Deebo Samuel has 1 rushing, and Jeff Wilson Jr. has 4, because you remember that game, he went back-to-back with 2 TDs basically on the goal line. So it doesn't really matter who gets the ball. We're a running back by committee, literally. You know what I'm saying? We have 4 good running backs that can do everything that we need without Jerick McKinnon. And we've been doing that for the past 2 years. And to be honest with you, I'm going to stick with the way that I feel. And I know sometimes I've said that, people can change their mind and things like that. I'm not going to change my mind on Jerick McKinnon. Cut him. He was a waste of money. 2 straight years of injury? No, not worth the money. I'm sorry. I don't care what he thinks he can do and all that other crap. That means nothing to me. At the end of the day, Jerick McKinnon has to be cut, and it is what it is. So, next up, we have our receiving core. Now, our receiving core is pretty much captained by our tight end, George Kittle, which is the number 1 tight end in the league. He has 46 receptions, 541 yards, averaging 11.8 yards a catch. He has 2 TDs. Next up, we got Deebo Samuel with 227 yards, averaging 10 yards a catch, and 1 TD. But he's got a lot of drops. So that's the issue with Deebo. He climbed the ladder one time. We thought he was going to make a spectacular catch, and he dropped it. There have been some wide open passes that he's caught, dropped. He's got to learn how to catch the ball. And if he learns how to catch the ball, Deebo will be a force to be reckoned with, because when he gets the ball, he's going to bully anybody in his way to be able to get the yards that he wants. So I can tell you that right now that's going to be, a situation that, we definitely have to make sure that we get in touch and talk to him. Shanahan, the wide receivers coaches, they got to get to him and say, hey, man, look, you got to start catching these balls or we're going to start giving you less time. That's why you ain't seen Dante. Dante ain't been catching the ball properly. So next up, we have the absent Marquise Goodwin. Now, understand when you have to get your life in the fair and you have to do things like that and you got to take time away from the team. I really understand that and I can appreciate that. But, come on, bro. You got to get these things going. My prayers are up to you and your family, and I mean that wholeheartedly as a human being. But from a fan standpoint, you're not helping us. You're hurting us by being gone, man. We need you to be there to stretch the field and to do these things. So if you got life events and things that you need to do, maybe you need to just take some time away from football. Because we could use the cap space coming next year. We got to pay Kittle. We got to pay Defoe. Kittle was a 5th-round pick, man. We're not going to be able to just, hope he takes a hometown discount, And if anybody, we're going to try to franchise tag Defoe. If we have to, we need money. So next up on the list, we got Kendrick Bourne. He's only got 158 yards. He's got 1 TD. He's averaging 14.4 yards a carry. His first TD came in the last game against the Cardinals. Dante Pettis, 109 yards, 2 TDs. He had a TD against the Buck. He had a TD against the Cards. Richie James Jr., he's 108, 1 TD. Matt Breida is 103 with a receiving touchdown. Same thing for Tevin Coleman. Same thing for Raheem Mostert. Both of them have receiving touchdowns. So what that tells you is that Jimmy G can spread the ball. We're not going to have a guy with like 8, 9, 10 touchdowns as far as receiving goes. Now, Emmanuel Sanders coming in and getting 2 touchdowns in 2 straight games, I love it. Their chemistry has grown, very, very quickly. And it's because he was running somewhat of the same system with Scangarello up there in Denver. So I can say to myself, I'm happy with the fact that him and Jimmy G have such a great connection. And I think Jimmy is starting to mesh with a player who's a veteran who knows what he's doing. I can tell you right now, Emmanuel Sanders is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I'm going to tell you, be honest with you, Shanahan's system doesn't call for a true number 1 receiver. Now, if he has one, yes, that's great. We all love that. But it doesn't really, because his receivers are interchangeable. They'll play all different spots. They're going to play the slot. They're going to play the X. They're going to play the Y. It doesn't matter what position he has you playing. If you're on the field, the chances are you're going to get the ball. So it doesn't matter. I would say, I think Emmanuel Sanders is probably going to get his 2-year extension. He said himself he's got like 2 to 3 years of football left in him. And I think they'll give him a 2-year extension. It may not be like a super lucrative deal, but the thing is if you ever notice, people will take a discount to win. Because Josh McDaniels could have been a head coach a long time ago, but he stayed in New England. Why? Because he was winning. He openly took that job in Indianapolis, and what happened? Turned it down and said, nah, I'll be the OC. I'm good. Why? Because you will win Super Bowls. And that's basically what it is. People will take a discount because they know they're going to win, or they have a chance to be able to get back to the Super Bowl. E-Man already has a Super Bowl with Denver. But at the same time, you still want to make sure that you go out and get another one. If you want to ever go down as a great receiver or a great player in this league, having a Super Bowl ring on your resume is definitely a plus to get into the Hall of Fame. I can tell you that right now. Because there are lots of people who don't have, Super Bowl rings that just don't get in because they were great players, but they just didn't win the big one. It's rare when you do that. I mean, Marino's in the Hall of Fame, but he ain't never win no ring. You know what I mean? Jim Kelly's been in the Hall of Fame. He ain't never won no ring with the 4 straight Super Bowls. Got his ass handed to him in all of them. Just saying, people. So, as far as our offense is concerned, I don't see any problem with anything that we're doing. Now, I'll jump over to special teams for just a hot second just to be able to touch on that. We don't really have a lot of returns and a lot of punt returns. And the reason being is just because people are just kicking the ball. Teams are getting down the field too quickly. They moved up to where you kick off the ball, so you have touchbacks 90% of the time. So it kind of sucks. Mitch Wish is doing a great job. He's at 25 punts, 1,097 yards. His longest punt was 60 yards. He's averaging 43.9 yards per punt. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is he put it inside the 10-yard line, I think at least, 10 times. So that means, that tells you, and then he's putting it inside the 20, with a ridiculous rate. So it doesn't mean, that we're having a heck of a time with the returns. It's just, it is what it is. Our special teams is doing fairly well. We're not doing too bad. No touchdowns on special teams. But as an offense, we're clicking as a whole. And we don't have anything to be worried about. Mid-season, what you can say is that the passing offense is going to start picking up. You'll see that. Jimmy G had 4 touchdowns his last game. So that tells you if you stop the run, you got to worry about the pass. And if you stop the pass, you got to worry about the run. You can't stop both. You have to have a defense that can do both. The only time we didn't score a rushing or a passing touchdown was when we had that mud bowl against Washington. And that's understandable because it was a mud bowl, man. It's really hard. People are trying to find their footing. You can't get off and get your full speed when you trying to run for a touchdown, because if you get your full speed, you ain't gonna be able to stop. Slip and slide everywhere. And we won that game on the leg of Robbie Gould. kick 3 field goals for us, 9-0. Hey, it was still a donut, still a win. Doesn't matter how you get it, just matters that it wins to win at the end of the day. So the second half of the season is where the schedule gets a little bit tougher. But I'm going to tell you right now, our offense is rolling. We have nothing to be worried about. The only thing that I would say is that we've got to pick things up and we've got to be more consistent, and the receivers must catch the ball. I cannot stress that enough. You got to catch the ball. We can't keep having these drops, because when you go against these big teams, when you go against the Green Bay Packers, you go against the New Orleans Saints, you go against the Baltimore Ravens, you know what I'm saying? You play the Seahawks at their house. It's going to be very frustrating trying to win a game when somebody drops a big ball, and then we're looking and then that's when people are going to start coming for us, as far as all the commentators and everything. Oh, the 49ers suck. They revealed who they really were. See, this is why I never believed in them in the first place, and blah, 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 blah. And no. Okay? Because you lose a game doesn't mean you suck, unless you're the Patriots. Because you got your ass handed to you by Lamar Jackson. I ain't never seen, Bill Belichick always has this straight face. But he actually shows some emotion. He was pretty pissed off, because he always looks pissed off as it is. But when he lost to the Ravens, ooh, that man was angry. I can tell you, I never seen somebody so pissed off in my life. He made me laugh. He really made me laugh. Yeah, they came out there with a better team. And, I'm very angry about that. Yeah. They deserved to win. We didn't. Come on, Bill. Calm down, bro. You lost a game, man. Like, suck it up, bro. You don't go undefeated. You went undefeated 1 year, and then you lost the Super Bowl. That's the crappy part, man. You go all that time, 18-0. You go to the Super Bowl like, shit, man. We on the road. We ain't gonna lose. And what happens? Here comes Eli. It happens. But very plain and very simple, man. We are rolling. We got to make sure that our offense is in full swing. Now, the beauty of this is we're going to get Juice back. We're going to get Joe back for this next game. And then right after that, we'll get Mike McGlinchey back. We have been playing with backup tackles, mind you. Justin Skule and Daniel Brunskill have done fan-fucking-tastic. Great jobs by these dudes. They've done everything that they needed to do. They blocked when they could block. They, rushed when they could rush. And this is invaluable time on the field. When we picked Justin Skule, I was like, who the hell is this dude out of Vanderbilt? But he's been doing a fantastic job. He's a better run blocker than pass blocker, but he has to develop that, because he's been going, it's hard to, come in and be a rookie. And you got to go up against Myles Garrett and, some of these dudes, Chandler Jones coming off the edge. That's not easy. And I'm going to give him a big pass for that. He did a damn good job. He did as much as he could. Yes, every now and then we're going to have a tight end over there to help Chip, and help him block and everything and that. But, hey, he's done a fantastic job. I can say if Joe wasn't ready this week, I'm perfectly fine with us going into this game against Seattle, which isn't really a great defense as it is, with Justin Skule and Daniel Brunskill starting. I am perfectly fine with that. And if they feel like, hey, man, you know what? Brunskill, you can sit down. We're going to switch Justin over to the right side. That's fine. All the injuries that we've had, with Trent Taylor going down, with Jalen Hurd going down, Juice going down, McGlinchey, Staley, haven't stopped us. It hasn't stopped us. We kept rolling. So next man up mentality is our mantra, and it definitely works for us. And we are always going to remain humble. We're going to remain Niner faithful. We are the Niner gang. I got to go. I got to get ready for work. Like I said, I'm going to hit y'all with a video for the defense, hit y'all with a video for us overall, and then I'm going to hit y'all right in the mouth, boom, with a video on how we going to beat on them little sea chickens. We going to smack them birds up just like we smacked up that little tiny bird last week on Thursday. Monday Night Football is going to be a beautiful thing. We're going to have the bright light shining on us, and we're going to have a feast. Russell Wilson is going to be served up on a platter with an apple in his mouth, hog-tied and ready to go, because that defensive line is coming. Nick Bosa will eat. Dee Ford will eat. DeForest Buckner will eat. Eric Armstead will eat. 6'7" in the middle? How you going to see over that, Russell? Oh, you going to roll out? No, you're not. No, you're not. Because D Ford and Nick Bosa are going to be waiting for you with open arms. Y'all have a beautiful day. Stay Niner faithful. We are the Niner gang. I am Dion, your 49ers reporter. I'll be back with another video by the end of the day. Peace. God bless. Have a wonderful day.